往的 PC 巨人戴尔今年是惊爆下市转为私有化。由于戴尔一年对台湾的采购金额是高达有上百亿的美金，也让外界开始担心台湾的供应链会不会受到影响呢？不过，其实，在下市之后的戴尔早就有了计划，他们想要学习前辈 IBM 转型成为企业端的应用服务供应商，而至今的营收比重是已经有高达50%。来看今天的关键对话。
各位观众朋友，大家好。戴尔今年从公开市场下市，不过这一位 PC 产业界曾经的巨人，其实正在默默的进行转型。他们打算从你我都熟悉的 PC 市场，转往到更上游的企业服务应用。到底戴尔的算盘是什么？今天我们为您专访到了戴尔亚太及日本区企业解决方案的副总裁 Philip 来接受我们的专访。Hello, nice to meet you, Phil.
Hi, Ashley. Nice to meet you too. Great to be here today.
And we know that Dell has dedicated to reforming in recent years, and your new focus is on the end-to-end business service. But we are curious about that. Why did you choose this market? What opportunities do you see?
Well, like many things at Dell, this is really driven by direct feedback from our customers. But if you think about Dell over the last 28 years, we're very famous for being very disruptive on the cost side. Yeah. Right? Disrupted the whole cost structure of the whole PC industry. But customers are looking now for more and more capabilities from Dell. And so we moved from our traditional strength in PCs into servers, and now recently in the last 4 or 5 years into storage and networking and really being an end-to-end solutions provider. And that's really what our customers are asking for. Well, from an enterprise standpoint, we see certainly an opportunity to help customers both reduce their overall cost of IT as well as shift the spend. A lot of our customers today are spending too much of their budget just keeping the lights on and not really on innovation. And we want to help customers really shift that mix more and more towards innovation. I mean, we like to call it really powering their business, not just powering their data center.
But for all of us, this business is not really familiar as before, like a PC market. So what is its application? And in our lives, where did we see this?
Yeah, a lot of the technology that my team's responsible for is really behind the scenes. So you're right, your average consumer may not see it, but you certainly see the effect of it. If you think about maybe Amazon or Amazon.com as an example, your average viewer probably just wants to go order a television or shampoo or whatever. But behind the scenes, that's all powered by Dell server storage and networking technology to make a fantastic experience that's very secure. Another great example right here in Taiwan would be Ibm, a very local site, famous for restaurant reviews. Once again, your average viewer is more interested in understanding where's a great place to eat. What they probably don't realize is Dell's technology is behind the scenes, powering that and making for a great experience on the web.
But we are curious about that. Compared to IBM, they are abandoned total PC market and turn into the big data and the business service. But Dell, even though Dell turn into the business service, you still support the PC market. You still like the PC market, didn't abandon it. So why did you do that? Why does Dell just focus on one market?
Well, you're right. I mean, Dell loves the PC market and we're highly committed to it. If you think about what I said in the beginning, Dell's very committed to listening to our customers and providing the capabilities that they want and they need to be successful. And as we talk to our customers, they really want an end-to-end solution. They don't want to buy pieces from one person or the other necessarily. And so the ability to provide the best experience with the individual devices, whether that's a tablet or a laptop or a PC, all the way through to the back end to be able to provide the servers, the storage, the networking, the ability to provide the services to help pull all of that together, software, security. Increasingly, customers are looking for one-stop shopping to help them solve those problems. And so we think it's important to be both in the PC as well as the broader solutions market.
So do you think that this market is bigger than the PC market?
If you can look at the data, from a Dell perspective at least, the majority of our revenue still is on the PC and the client, what we call client PC laptop side of the business. If you look at the growth, the enterprise side of the business has been growing much more rapidly. We're very, very pleased with the growth in that part of the business. Most recently, our second quarter results, the server and networking business grew by 8%. That's the 5th quarter in a row of consecutive growth. So not only is it growing faster than our overall business, at the same time, it's growing faster than the market. So we continue to take share. So we're very excited about that.
And we know that Dell, as for you, you focus on the Japan and the China and the Taiwan market. So through your eyes, what's the difference of this market and what's your strategy?
It's interesting. You know, you look at the last 3 or 4 years, there was a lot of companies that moved aggressively into the emerging markets and maybe took their eye off of some of the more mature markets. And now in the last 30 to 60 days, there's been a lot of excitement back towards the mature markets, Japan in particular, and maybe defocusing on the emerging markets. From Dell's perspective, we're taking a longer-term view of that. I mean, we've been here in the Taiwan market for 19 years, so we're hugely committed to this market. We've been in Japan for 20 years. We've been in China for a long time. We're the largest server vendor in China as well. So we look at these markets as the capabilities within each market, not necessarily one versus the other. We continue to be very excited about all 3 of those markets and are making sure we make the right investments to be successful there and to help our customers in those markets.
So do you think that Japanese market is better than before?
Certainly from a Dell perspective, we see huge opportunity in the Japan market. You look at the Japanese information technology, there's still a lot of the proprietary systems that exist there. But increasingly, the Japanese customers don't want to be locked into those proprietary systems. They want to move much more into open, interoperable, and move into x86. And that's really what Dell's all about. That's what we've done the whole history of our company has been focused on x86. And so we see a huge opportunity in Japan to continue to help Japanese customers move out of that locked-in proprietary type of solution and into open architectures.
And how about the Chinese market? We know that more and more Chinese brands arise, and their government support their Chinese company. Will there be a pressure for Dell, and how's your strategy in the Chinese market?
Well, from an enterprise perspective, we think that the Chinese market will continue to be a great opportunity for us. As I mentioned before, we're the largest server vendor in China, and we've been consistently #1 in China. If you look at some of the things that are powering the server market in China, certainly the whole web tech market, people like Tencent or Baidu or Alibaba are building a lot of capacity. And so that whole social networking, web tech space has continued to be a very hot market in China, and it's been very successful for Dell in China as well as the rest of the world.
How about Taiwan? We know that you have a lot of partners in Taiwan. So what's your cooperation with Taiwan's partner in the future?
Dell, about 4 or 5 years ago, really started to significantly increase our investments in the channel. That was true worldwide, and it's absolutely true right here in Taiwan. So much as the enterprise business is growing faster than Dell's overall business, what you can expect is that our channel business will grow faster than our overall business. Historically, Dell's been thought of really as a direct company, but recently we've moved much more into the channel, and that business has been growing. It's now over 1/3 of our revenue here in Asia Pacific and Japan, and we think there's an opportunity to continue to increase the growth of our channel business.
And we are also curious about that. For the business service market, we know that you have a great, strong competitor, that is IBM. So what's your strategy to compete with this competitor?
Yeah, we have a lot of competitors that we face in the marketplace, and that's not new. I mean, if you look at the 28-year history, when Dell was first founded, there were some pretty strong competitors, and many of those, by the way, don't exist anymore. So we're pretty focused on our strategy. I think there's a few things that are differentiated about that. One, as I mentioned, Dell prides ourselves on listening to our customers, and we think if you're listening to your customers and you're meeting their needs, that's going to be a winner, right? Number 2, we're very committed to open standards systems. I'm not so certain that the specific competitor you mentioned or even many of our competitors are as committed. If you look at what's happening in technology, particularly in the enterprise technology space, you're kind of seeing this move towards more and more kind of complete stacks that lock customers in. Dell's strategy is completely different. We're focused on providing interoperable solutions that give customers choice and flexibility, and we think that's going to continue to win.
And what's Dell's plan in the next year, and how's your projection for the global economy next year?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things you can expect from Dell next year. One is we continue to invest very heavily in our enterprise portfolio. I mean, if you look at the last 4 years, we've made a number of acquisitions to increase our capabilities. And so we'll continue to enhance and invest that portfolio, whether it's in servers or storage or networking or making those all work better together.
Thanks, Phil. 戴尔现在正稳步的往它的下一步迈进，不过前方还有来自中国、日本和韩国以及全球经济变化的挑战，能不能够突破重围，也是戴尔现在最大的考验。